This week's Nifty Gifties on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Whether you're looking for a new laptop, tablet, Xbox, games, or a whole lot more, you can get them at the Microsoft Store. Remember, current students, faculty, parents, and active military can save up to 10% off almost everything. To browse the products and learn more about the discounts, you can go to f5live.tv/Microsoft. All right, so if you've ever tried to take your phone from carrier to carrier, not just your number, but your phone itself, you probably have encountered the annoyance that is carrier locking. Basically, that means that the device is locked to the carrier that you purchased it from, even though the phone is fully capable of interacting with the other carriers as well. Every carrier deals with unlocking of phones differently in the world's most annoying way possible. There's basically, from day to day, there's almost no way of knowing what the policy is for any carrier. And so the FCC has decided to step in. They've done this once before, and they put rules in place that required unlocking at all. And in most cases, it had to be within a year of activation or something like that, or immediately following the paying off of the device. But now, because of an issue with T-Mobile, and in particular T-Mobile's prepaid service, Metro, they are looking to guarantee a 60-day window from activation. Now, there are, of course, some issues that could pop up with this. There could be people who go shopping for what the carriers are calling the best deal, not paying it off, taking it to another carrier. There are potential issues here, and I suspect the carriers will challenge this proposal before it can go into effect because of those challenges. And in the end, it will probably be altered from the current proposal. But the idea of, in one way or another, standardizing the unlocking process, or at least the unlocking procedures, is a nice one because, for example, Metro, you have to have the phone for a year. It has to be active for a year, I think. But on T-Mobile, it only has to be active for 40 days, I think, and paid. So if you buy the phone outright and it's been active for 40 days, you can unlock it. Like, it's the same company and the policies are very different. So it would be nice to see standardization. Even better if that standardization came with customer support that knows how to do it. I'm guessing it's not done often enough that most of the people you talk to at customer support know how to do it, because I definitely struggled with that personally a couple of months ago as I tried to unlock a device to activate it on the spot, and we never did get that done, which was fascinating. But I don't know, this seems like a good move to me, to allow or at least to standardize phone unlocking. What do you think, Abram?
Yeah, so I don't totally understand why you should, is it a matter of you'll be able to unlock it even if you haven't paid it off?
So there's definitely questions, right, around what the end result would be. As of right now, the proposition is that it would require them to unlock phones within 60 days of activation.
Right. 60 days of activation. So,
yeah, paid off or not, I guess. Now, that is where the carriers are going to challenge it, right? There will be challenges from the carriers on this for sure. because they're gonna make the argument, and I think it's a solid enough one, that what if it's not paid off? They come to us because we're running a deal. They just cancel and bolt with the phone. That's not good for us. What are we talking about?
I mean, it seems like you'd have to pay it off, right? You can't just take the phone and run, right? You'd have to, at that point, you would have to pay for the rest of the phone, right?
Right.
Now, it is interesting, right? Because a lot of times they give you, a free phone with activation or something like that.
Yeah. Like I got a Razor that way.
Now, my guess is, though, that there are contracts there, right? So the contract is probably like free. You have to maintain the line for X number of years in order to get the phone free.
Yeah. Or you end up paying the financing fees back.
Right. So in a way, I don't think may not really be a problem because the financial incentive is still there for you to stay.
Right. Unless your plan is to just skip out.
Skip out how?
It's a fair question. I mean, it seems
I don't know, like run to another country with your phone and hope they don't catch you and bill you? I mean, what do you mean? Skip out.
What a fascinating comment. Yeah. I bet that legitimately would be a concern.
What would legitimately be?
So we used to have problems with that with Sprint. People would activate a line, get the discount on the phone. You didn't necessarily have to have an active or valid social security number for Sprint. You could activate it on a $125 deposit, get a phone for cheap, and then never pay the bill, skip out with the phone. It's one of the reasons that phones come carrier locked now. So it's interesting that this could return that scam.
Yeah, I mean, but that's assuming that they're allowing you to do it without any without properly getting your ID.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
whether
I don't.
Social Security or some other method.
I don't know that exists anymore, except on prepay, where I could say I'm you, and there's no need to prove it.
Right. So I don't know if this is actually a real problem because, like,
it's interesting.
If they'll find you to bill you, right? They'll find you to bill you. I think. But this is interesting because my mother called me today with a concern that's, I don't think it's related to this, but it could be. So she bought a smartwatch like a year and a half ago from T-Mobile, and her smartwatch broke. And I think she got the smartwatch free for activating a line, or free or at some discount for activating a line.
Sure.
So the smartwatch broke, and she called T-Mobile, and they said something to her. I can't believe they said this to her. This is just what my mother told me, so maybe she got it wrong. They said if she wants a new smartwatch, she has to continue to pay for the remaining 6 months of her plan for a watch that doesn't work, and then sign up for a new line for a new watch while paying 6 months for a dead line.
I mean, technically you wouldn't have to pay for the line. You could still do the financing, but you've still got to pay the rest of the financing off on the watch.
I think her point was that the watch was paid, but she had to keep paying like $12 a month for the line.
Well, then you could just buy the new watch outright. See that?
Right.
Here's the thing.
Right.
I've worked that front desk. And I
Yeah.
know all the sleazy things that the salespeople do.
Yeah.
And I've heard them say this before. And I can tell you for a fact, without question, there are ways to do it that aren't that. Now, it's also possible that based on the way financing works today and all that, that might be the less expensive way to go because there's some, you know, good incentive on activating a new line, and in the end, that actually
Right.
ends up being less expensive than just buying the thing outright. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
today's deals are, but I've definitely seen that before.
Right. I said to her, "We should see if we could just find you another watch somewhere." I mean, it certainly does call attention to like maybe people should buy their phones not from the carrier,
Yeah.
right? Although the thing is, I do buy my phone from the carrier because I don't like spending the 500, 600, 700, $800 up front.
Up
I
front.
would rather that they just bill me $25 a month or something for 2 years. So, um,
Yeah.
but I kind of now what I did find annoying, it uh, what I did find annoying though was that I had a like when I went to Taiwan, right? They like I
Mm-hmm.
had to even after my phone was completely paid off, after I'd had it for more than 2 years, every time I went to Taiwan and I wanted to like be able to use a local SIM card, I had to like apply to have my phone temporarily unlocked for a month. And I think that's kind of crappy that you
Mm-hmm.
should have to like ask for their permission to
Yeah.
unlock it, particularly when you've already paid for the whole phone. And I was still paying for their plan. I didn't cancel the plan. I just wanted to be able to use another SIM.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and
this
that's
year,
all of that is
yeah,
what the FCC is trying to fix here, right? That from the FCC standpoint, all of this is what they're trying to fix. From
right.
the
Like
carrier
I think if
standpoint,
you,
they're looking they're looking to avoid scams, possibly scams that don't exist anymore. They might still be stuck in the past, right? Because when you
right,
said the thing, my mind immediately went to Sprint, right? Because we could put in a
right.
social security number of 111111111. You'd get a
Well,
$125
that
deposit
sounds like
and
that
move
sounds like
on.
a problem with their screening, though. It doesn't sound like a problem with the idea of unlocking phones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in fairness, the whole thing was, and we're not going to get into a political discussion. Twitch, we're not. This isn't what we're doing here. Sprint was giving postpaid plans to undocumented. So that's what Sprint was up to with that idea, and I don't know. Today I just checked. Nobody offers that option anymore. So the only people who could potentially get hit by a scam in this category would be prepay, but prepay doesn't give you discounts like that. I don't think anymore. I think you're just paying. Oh, excuse me. I think you're just paying for the phone. So yeah, I think they're trying to protect against things that don't exist anymore. That's my current feeling.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like putting a roadblock in your way that's really not helpful or
Yeah.
necessary. I mean, they should just make sure that, hey, look, if you want to cancel our service, if we gave you a free phone, you didn't maintain the service for X amount of time, then you have to pay for the rest of the phone, or
Or
we give
return
you a
it.
discount on the phone, or
Whatever the
whatever. Like
leasing whatever the leasing agreement is.
whatever whatever they come up with an agreement that makes it unattractive for people to leave the carrier. But like,
Exactly.
really, if I paid you for my service and I paid you for my phone, like, don't tell me I can't take my phone and use it on something. Um, like I'm still happy with my T-Mobile service, but I would have liked to. I mean, to be fair, I made the decision. One of my colleagues said, "Look, you're just better off spending $50 on like the T-Mobile 1 month. They have a thing now where I think you can pay for 1 month of data in a high-speed data in another country for like $50. So I did that. It turned out to be more money than it would have cost to get a local SIM card by a wide margin, but um, it was business, so I expensed it and whatever. Um, but yeah, I think, what if I moved to Taiwan permanently?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
shouldn't I be able to take the phone with me?
I totally agree. So first off, both Apple and Samsung allow you to buy in installments their phones unlocked from their websites. Just as a note, I just checked. So you could do Samsung just like it was on your carrier bill. You could do iPhone just like it's on your carrier bill through them, and you get it unlocked. But I just got approached for a review of a new eSIM carrier, and I would have to test it on one of my old phones because I can't get this one unlocked. I couldn't install it on this one. To do my test, I would have to carry two phones again, which fortunately over the last couple of years I have not had to carry two phones, although I'm doing a lot of Xamarin's dead, Maui stuff again, so carrying two phones might start up again, but I don't want to, but I would have to do this review, which is idiotic. So, anyway, if the FCC gets their way, we will see 60-day unlocks, which, in all reality, could mean that we could see the end of locks, because if it's a 60-day lock, unless they're just trying to make sure there's no some sort of upfront fraud, and who knows, there's stuff that happens in the industry that we don't know about, that, even working that front desk for a decade, there could be, fraud scenarios that we don't know about. But, with a 60-day thing, it's possible that all that goes away and we don't see locks anymore. And I won't lie to you, I would not miss them. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.